lot of pain out there. And now a lot of those economic numbers, look at the GDP now. Thursday, it was we were looking at first quarter, 2.3%. Friday, it was a negative 1.5%. Yesterday, it was negative 2.8%. That's not all trade. That, and we're seeing dramatic decline.
To be fair, I don't know what the hell he's saying. I just see a bunch of red panic downward arrows. And basically just saying even Fox News can't hide it anymore. Everyone, please be prepared for the worst. This is happening right now, apparently. When I walk outside, it seems to be pretty chill. People are still, like, living their lives, which we're going to have to keep doing anyways. So, don't let the fear get instilled in your hearts. But it's smart to know about it. But right after this, we're going to go back to 2008, and we're going to see the similarities in what's happening here.
Just free falls. Now, some of this is early in the first quarter, but this is scary stuff. So there's a lot more going on, a lot more substantial things going on besides tariffs, because, listen, this is soft data. They haven't hit yet.
Apple shares are just getting hammered this morning.
Let's talk about this.
He goes, it hasn't hit yet. He goes, watch out. But here's 2008. This is kind of, let's not be surprised if we see this exact same thing. And then let's really talk about it. Just talk about it.
Speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate.
We're red everywhere, essentially, down by 4-5%.
We're down over 16%.
Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%. The stock market is now down 21%.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
Two-year no yields went from 190 to 166 in the blink of an...
It was the worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987. Apple.
Wow, that was like intense. And for the record, I think most of us, at least for me, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But let's like break it down here like we're small children. You know what else has been crashing lately? My air conditioning unit. So that's why I'm in a tank top and I might start sweating. That's fine. I got my AC guy coming over. All good. I'll be counting the money, waiting for him to get here. But right here it goes, a stock market crash. Jesus. Means that the value of stocks rapidly decline, which can result in significant losses for everyday people who invest in the stock market, potentially impacting their retirement savings like 401ks and their overall wealth, especially if they need to sell their investments during a downturn. All right, let's go down. Like, what's other than having money in the stock market? Like, let's see. When the market crashes, the value of stocks held by individuals plummets, leading to a direct loss of money if they need to. Okay, that's only if they need to sell. Reduce retirement savings. So anybody who's like going to retire and is pulling out of their 401k, that could be significantly fucked. So that's really fun. Impact on consumer spending. A drop in stock market value can lead to decreased consumer confidence, as people may feel less wealthy and choose to spend less money, potentially impacting business. That's something that's already been a thing. People are already like not buying shit, minimalism. Like that's already impacting it, because we run on a consumer. If we're not spending, no one's making any money. It's kind of like a debt system. Psychological impact. The stress and anxiety of seeing significant losses in one's investment can be substantial for many people. As if people aren't tripping out already about money. That's like the worst part, I think. Long-term perspective. While a crash can be concerning in the short term, experts often advise maintaining a long-term investment strategy, as markets tend to recover over time. Yeah, you know what I mean? Death comes rebirth, right? Honestly, it's probably going to be a good thing if this really does happen. I'm not saying the sky is falling, all right? I think a lot of us are going to get humbled, including me. Like, if shit really tanks, oh, dude, I'm going to see a loss in my money, because I rely on advertisements. So, we all, but some people are going to win big time. Just a bunch of winners and a lot of losers. And I might be one of them.
We had the worst year in real estate in 30 years in 2024. The lowest amount of homes were sold. It was the hardest year. Yet home prices stayed high. And everybody keeps waiting and just waiting for prices to come down. And now we're at the bottom. Okay, if we're in the worst year in 30 years, we're at the bottom of that, and home prices still didn't come down. What makes you think home prices are still going to come down?
So they're probably not. And I think the good thing is, like here in Florida, there's a lot of like real estate agents. They're just not even taking listings anymore because people are not refusing to lower the price. It's like, dude, you're never gonna sell this piece of shit for $500,000, right? Like the party's over. So that's actually kind of a good thing for like everyday people like us. I honestly can't imagine housing just getting cut back down in half. Maybe that would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? At least for us, the smaller folk, that would be nice. But that could be a positive. If shit really takes a crap, we might be able to get a slightly more affordable home. Although, let's be honest, like, even if houses in South Florida were $300,000, it's still a lot of money. Like, let's not bullshit each other. It's still, compared to, like, wages and shit, like, it's still a lot. Like, your mortgage is still going to suck. But at least it wouldn't be a $500,000 house. Because that's where it's at. 500 grand, piece of shit. Where do you want to sign? You want it? People are saying no, they don't want it. Investors don't even want it. That's the funniest part. Yeah, so housing, who knows with that shit. But it seems like it just, I don't know. I would hope it goes down. Here we go. Warning about Social Security, 3/3/25. So this is like fresh here.
Social Security has never missed a payment in more than 80 years, but your benefit checks might not show up next month. The former Social Security Commissioner, Martin O'Malley, warned today that the slash and burn tactics of the world's richest man, Elon Musk, and his Department of Governmental Efficiency would soon disrupt the system. O'Malley saying, quote, "You're going to see the system collapse and an interruption of benefits. I believe you will see that within the next 30 to 90 days. He added, people should start saving now.
Well, thank God my parents just died in the last 5 years. They would get a good joke, but they're older. My mom would be 70 now, and my dad would have turned 73. My dad passed away last week, but he was receiving social. I knew this was coming. I'm going somewhere with this. But they both would have solely relied on Social Security. Not to mention, okay, no one can afford shit anyways. But think about that. Like, world's burning, baby. All right, here's another guy. 2025 a recession alert, and I'm gonna trust him because he looks serious. You got to commend this guy for getting his self on screen looking like that. I like him. I subscribe to him.
The 2025 recession is going to be one for the history books. Now, we just got an indication as to when and why this is going to happen. Now, what I'm about to tell you, we have not seen since 2008. Now, American credit card debt is over $1 trillion, which is some of the highest debt in the history of the U.S. Now, everyone knows that lots of people are using credit cards right now just to pay their bills. Now, why is this important? Well, we haven't seen this happen since 2008, which I think we can all agree was a pretty bad recession.
It almost makes me wonder what would happen if people didn't have credit cards. If nobody in America had a credit card to use for anything, and people only had to use the money that they have in their wallet, in their bank account, saved, whatever, their retirement savings, money that actually belongs to them. I think
what would happen if nobody had credit cards? That's my boy Michael Bardner. I love that guy. Well, no one would have a house. 95% of people wouldn't have a house. Okay. 100 million people have auto loans, so none of them would have a car. Everyone would be driving hoopties. Everybody. Most people. Not everybody. Majority of us would be driving jalopies. Just buckets. Just cruising. Picture me rolling. Yeah, in your rust bucket. But a lot of people wouldn't have shit. We wouldn't have, like, it's all based on that. Okay? Then throw in cutting Social Security. Forget it. Can't buy a house. Even with credit, you can't buy a fucking house. That's the best. That's how far gone it is. But I love that question that he just asked. I thought that was beautiful. If nobody had credit, where would we be? It would be a full-blown reset. Just imagine that. Take credit cards completely out of the mix. It would be a full-blown reset. Yeah, it's kind of trippy, actually. If you really think that deep on it, I wouldn't have this house here. I'd be renting, like, I would have my cars because I bought them cash, but they were like $10,000 cars. Like most people can scrounge up 10 grand. I have faith in people. If you don't think you could scrounge up 10 grand, well, You know, I've told that to people sometimes. I'm like, dude, you can get 20 grand. It's almost like I'm telling them to be a millionaire. And I'm like, dude, come on, you could do it. You don't do that without. It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but like, there's always opportunity out here. But I just thought that was funny, the credit card thing.
Our entire economy would collapse overnight, guys. I think that's how dire this situation is.
So I just stopped paying for my car because I had a baby. And we couldn't afford my car anymore. So I just stopped paying it. And I figured if they wanted to come get it, they could.
It's just one person, but like, it's kind of fucked. It's like, I just had a baby. I can't afford my car. No big deal. Wow. Yeah, it's going to be rough. And the cars, too. Like, we talk about cars a lot on this channel if you're new here. And, like, dealerships are already struggling, but apparently cars are going to get more expensive. I thought they were going to drop. Apparently not.
I don't know.
I sold order for a customer. $80,000 truck. It's $100,000 now. So he's not going to buy the truck. It's going to sit on my lot at the higher interest rates we're paying right now for floor plan, and nobody's going to buy the truck because it just had a $20,000 price increase.
Right. Kelley Blue Book will put the number up. They say the average vehicle will go up by about $3,000. Does it sound right to you?
No, it will not. We don't have the broad stroke. We don't have the linear, the tight strokes.
Why? He's like struggling to talk, which I get, because he's kind of going, people already can't afford it. Now I got to raise the prices. We're supposed to be lowering the prices. I just think that's so funny. How did we get to a point where, like, I think I said this in yesterday's video, the day before, but like, since everything's on credit, it just blows my mind. It's kind of genius. Everything's on credit, right? It's like people were already getting loans on the $20,000 cars, and they're like, just double it. Just double it. They're going to get the loan. And people did. That's the funniest part. Even with the houses, even if the housing market took a dump and houses went down to 150 grand, you're still going to get a loan. So why would they even lower it that low? How many people got 150 grand just right out of their butt? Not many. Not many.
Is nobody talking?
Just something to bring up. I was just thinking about that. It is kind of genius. I mean, people are financing their shoes. Yeah, $150 financed.
Talking about how we're probably going to be in a massive recession or even a depression. Because in the last 3 weeks alone, there's been like almost 1 million people laid off. And while that's like, kind of a small percentage of the country, it's only going to keep going and keep getting worse. Because as people are getting laid off, then unemployment is gonna need to go up, and that's probably going to be cut. So then people are not going to get unemployment, which means that their spending is going to be going down, which means that other businesses are going to have to start laying off people, which is just going to be a continual cycle.